Hello everybody, this is Tetrafolium back to explain my preparation for Game 3 of the Turn 17 Rocks Draft League against Gholdengo's Pokemon team. As always, I like to identify the threats that my opponent has and build my team to counter those threats. So for starters, I look at this team and I think the base power level of these Pokemon is particularly low. A lot of these Pokemon rely on boosting moves like Gholdengo with Nasty Plot, Rotom, Nasty Plot, Weavile, Swords Dance, Cloyster, Shell Smash, so on and so forth. Um, so I'm going to choose Pokemon that can hit really hard in one turn. That's why I opted to bring Agent Thigh-Highs, who with a maxed attack Power Whip cleaves through most of this team unless they happen to resist Power Whip. Additionally, I decided to bring the Shiesty duo of Father Christmas and Agent Jaeger, shoutouts to Attack on Titan, to give me super fast, heavy hitting options and to bust through the team after I get a little bit of chip. I could have decided to run spikes on Agent Wisdom to help me out with chipping this team, but I instead opted to go for Dragon Dance Chesto Resto, since +1 speed actually outspeeds most of the Pokemon on GPT's team. Of course, that means I'm going to have to bring rocks on the Agency Pyramid and a defensive Agent Mothman, because no team is complete without it. Thankfully, because I can finally just use Serena to be a straight up rapid spinner, I don't need to rely on Oricorio. I can just run heavy duty boots on Mothman and not feel like I'm completely out. None of my other Pokemon really need it. I guess I'll go more in depth with the EV spreads. So let's start with Mothman. 216 speed, modest is an interesting speed tier. It ensures that I outspeed max speed Tatsugiri and Bombardier, who happen to have the exact same speed stat. Something that's kind of interesting. Alternatively, I could have decided to bump it up to just 220 speed and a timid nature, which would mean that my +1 Mothman would outspeed a +2 Cloyster, in case of the Cloyster Shell Smashes. Now, I did give this some consideration, but I thought to myself, if I have Mothman in against Cloyster, why would I click Quiver Dance, predicting a Shell Smash, when most likely he's just gonna Rock Blast and absolutely kill my Mothman? Now, I could have maybe done Terra Water to help me deal with that, but I sort of thought most of my team kind of just will be decent against a boosted Cloyster. Like, for example, if I can get Father Christmas in, I believe it lives a any move that Cloyster goes for. So I might be able to get an Aurora Veil off or a Leaf Storm to just absolutely kill it. My Titan or Agent Jaeger will outspeed in the snow. Now, unfortunately, I'm giving Cloyster a snow boost, but we might be able to play around it there. Plus, my opponent has not brought Cloyster and also doesn't seem to change up his teams between games, as evident between the first and second game having the same team. So I'm not too worried about it. If he punishes me, he punishes me. Next we've got Agency Pyramid. This is just a pretty standard set with mixed defenses, Stealth Rock. Nothing too crazy here. For Thigh-Highs, I decided to give it an Assault Vest again, and just enough speed to outspeed a plus attack Cloyster, just in case he decides to bring it. Now, of course, if he gets a Shell Smash off, I'm in trouble, but my Power Whip would do immense damage. I decided to put Endeavor on as the last move. I thought about maybe a fighting type move, but I already one-shot Weavile. There's no other Pokemon really, other than like Chansey, that I'd hit with high jump kick, and I don't want it to like have him switch into Amoonguss or Gholdengo and have my high jump kick basically do nothing and or hurt me. So I went with Endeavor as the last move, you know, just in case I'm low HP, I happen to be faster than something, I can just Endeavor and chip it down. Finally, we've got, or not finally, sorry, we have Father Christmas and Agent Jaeger as my Pocket Snow team. I decided to go with Light Clay Aurora Veil Father Christmas because I've got a lot of Pokemon here that would be very dangerous with double defenses, especially with setting up, particularly Agent Mothman and Agent Wisdom. I also gave max special attack just to, I don't know, if I need to throw off one of those moves, I'll hit really hard. Earth Power, of course, to hit Gholdengo, possibly Sandy Shocks. Blizzard hits everything hard. Leaf Storm hits. I don't know. Actually, it doesn't really hit that much. Maybe I could switch that out for a different move, but I don't really know what other move. So maybe we'll just keep it. I think I stole that set mostly and just tweaked the EVs. Stole it from Smogon. It is what it is. We've got Belly Drums to Titan, which behind Roarveil would be monstrous. I've got Liquidation, which is maybe not a super common idea, but I needed to hit Rotom Heat. Everything else on his team will get folded by Ice Spinner and Earthquake, and I don't really need the priority move, Ice Shard, so I'm not really missing out too much there. Yeah, this EV spread looks a little strange because I've got things into 4. The reason why I have just 4 HP hanging out like that is simply because I need an even number of HP so that when I belly drum, I'll get my Citrus Berry. Usually you don't want to have an even number of HP, especially for a Rocks weak Pokemon like Agent Jaeger, but I'd rather have my Citrus Berry go off after I belly drum than have to risk taking some chip in order for it to go off. And finally, we have Agent Wisdom. It's pretty much the same set that we brought the first time, just slightly tweaked the speed. This is just enough to outspeed a min speed Rotom, and if we're at +1, we'll outspeed Gholdengo and Modest Sandy Shocks. We do not outspeed Timid Sandy Shocks, and we're never gonna outspeed Weavile +1, though +2 we will. And that's pretty much the long and the short of this team. It's not super duper complicated, but sometimes keeping it simple makes it easy to win. So when I get the battle done, hopefully we'll come out on the other side with a win. All right, now we're into the battle here. All I'm gonna say is that this was the lightest piece of work I've had this whole season. No disrespect to Cool Cam, he's just learning, but yeah, it was a pretty easy game. Let's go through the game plan here. Well, this is the same awful team that he brought last week against the Macon Steppes. I can tell because, well, it's the exact same Pokemon, the exact same order. So, some things I know about this is that it's the most egregious Weavile set I've ever seen in my life. minimum speed, and Shadow Ball on it. Um, I know that the Tatsugiri is not that threatening. It's just, I think, the Sushi Spinner set. And I know that the Gholdengo is like the standard recover nasty plot one. Um, so that'll help me out. We start this battle with Serena. Why do we start this battle with Serena? Well, because I figure he's going to start with Sandy Shocks. If he happened to start with Rotom, I can always switch to Garg. If we happen to start with uh, Amoonguss, then I can U-turn and probably go Abomasnow. Um, that actually would have been an interesting exchange if he had started with Amoonguss, but I knew he was going to start with Sandy Shocks because he did that, I think, every game so far. I Power Whip, and goodbye Sandy Shocks. Yep, and then I go straight to Whiscash here. It's possible he could have Will-O-Wisped, but since I have Chesto Berry, I can tank that. He goes for an Overheat, which only does 26. I'm not sure what set that is. I feel like that's really low. Like, my Wishcash is not that heavily invested in HP, so he's probably not an offensive one. I go straight to Volcarona, just in case he has Will-O-Wisp, and he clicks Thunder, which I I don't know. He's just a new player. That's all I can say. Uh, e Even if you're predicting a switch, like what does Thunder hit on my team? Nothing. Maybe he's going for a paralysis. That could be interesting, but to that point, I would say, why don't you just run Thunder Wave? Um, I don't know. He goes straight to a Moongus here as I Quiver Dance up, and I see this as an opportunity to get a free Fiery Dance off. Even if he goes to Tatsugiri, I mean, I don't care. I get the chip, and he doesn't have Recover or anything like that, so he's going to have to hold that chip for the rest of the game. I switched out to Serena here because I'm going to take literally 0 from any of his moves. U-turn out, go to Abomasnow, Father Christmas. Take also basically nothing from that, so I'm just going to set up an Aurora Veil in his face. I'm going to go hard Wishcash here, as I take basically nothing. Dragon Dance up, because the only Pokemon on his team who might have maybe been faster was this Sandy Shocks, if it was Timid. But now I'm faster than that, and I know his Weavile set is literally minimum speed for no reason. So I've got a Agent Wisdom sweep cooked up here. Rotom's dead. He goes Gholdengo. Now I could have Earthquaked here, and probably just one-shot him, but I decided to go for Liquidation because I know that Gholdengo is his Terra Captain, and he could be Terra Flying. Now, I think, if memory serves me right, he was Terra Steel, so I was kind of foolish to even bother, but, I mean, you know, I don't want to choke the game for no reason. Not like I really would have, because this Gholdengo's not going to do much to me, as you can see. Critical hit, though. Had he decided to Terra and got the crit there, he actually would have killed my ancient wisdom. No, my agent wisdom. Now, not like it really would have mattered for the course of this game, because I could have just easily went into Mothman and picked up 2 kills. But yeah, just something to note there. Had he went for Terra Steel and got the crit, he actually would have killed my Agent Wisdom. I keep wanting to say Ancient Wisdom. I guess that's why I picked that name, huh? So now I'm going to show off the rest. I know he can't do anything. The best he can do is Nasty Plot, but it's still not going to be doing anything. And Liquidation is a roll to kill, but probably will kill. Yep, that just shows off the minimum speed Weavile for no reason. And I Liquidation, and I get a very crap roll. And then I just pack him up. Would have liked to finish it on turn 17. To shout out the turn 17 rocks, even though I did not have stealth rocks on my wish cache to put up on that turn. But yeah, that was a quick game. There's not much to it. Wish cache gets a sweep again, and I keep my perfect record of not giving up a KO into game 3. I wish I had something more interesting to say, but that's it. Join me back later on when I look at the other games, and I hope that they're more exciting than this. See ya.